Welcome to Sanctuary Stories, the podcast where we explore the incredible journeys of people seeking sanctuary and the remarkable contributions they've made to the world. I'm Phil, and in each episode, we'll take you through the life of one extraordinary individual who defied the odds, overcame adversity, and left a lasting impact on history. And today, we're talking about one of the most celebrated British athletes of all time. A four-time Olympic gold medalist, a national hero, and a man whose name is synonymous with greatness on the track. But behind the medals and the victories lies a story of unimaginable hardship, a story that remained hidden for decades. Sir Mo Farah is one of the greatest long-distance runners in history. But what many people don't know is that his name isn't actually Mo Farah. His real name is Hussein Abdi Kahin. He was born in Somalia, trafficked to the UK as a child under a false identity, and forced into domestic servitude. For years he lived in silence, afraid of being deported, afraid of what might happen if the truth came out. This is the story of how a young boy, stolen from his home, found his identity, his freedom, and his greatness. It's a story of resilience, survival, and the power of sport to transform a life. So get ready, because this is Mo Farah's real story. Mo Farah was born Hussein Abdi Kahin on the 23rd of March 1983 in Somaliland, a region of Somalia that declared independence during the country's brutal civil war. His childhood in the beginning was not unusual. He grew up in a large family, running around the dusty streets of his village with his twin brother Hassan. Mo was a mischievous, energetic child, always playing outside, climbing trees, and racing against his friends. Even as a toddler, his mother would joke that Hussein doesn't walk anywhere. He always runs. He loved to race his brother, sprinting down the narrow dirt roads, kicking up clouds of dust as he ran. His father, Abdi, was a farmer and a hard-working man who provided for the family. But Mo's childhood was overshadowed by the violence around him. The Somali civil war erupted in the late 1980s and life became dangerous. One day, when Mo was just 4 years old, the war arrived on his doorstep. His village was caught in the crossfire between warring factions, and his father was killed while trying to protect his land. Mo later recalled, "That was the moment everything changed. I didn't understand at the time, but my whole life was about to be ripped apart." With his father gone, his mother was left to raise her children alone in a country descending into chaos. She made the heartbreaking decision that Mo needed to leave Somalia for his own safety. She thought she was sending him to a better life, but she never imagined she was sending him into a nightmare. Mo was just 9 years old when he was taken from his home and trafficked to the UK under a false identity. His mother was told he would be taken to England and live with relatives and receive an education. But when he landed in the UK, he was given a fake passport with the name Mohammed Farah, a name that was not his own. Instead of being greeted by loving family members, he was taken to a household where he was treated as a servant. Mo didn't understand what was happening at first. He was in a strange country where he didn't speak the language, and people who had brought him here were nothing like the family he had imagined. "I remember standing in Heathrow Airport, looking around, not knowing what was going on," he later said. "I didn't speak a word of English, I just knew that my life would never be the same. The people who took him weren't his relatives at all. They had no intention of taking care of him. Instead, they forced him into domestic servitude. He was not allowed to go to school. He was forced to cook, clean, and take care of younger children. If he spoke up or misbehaved, he was beaten and threatened. They told me, "If you ever tell anyone the truth, you'll be taken away. You'll never see your family again." So Mo stayed silent. He lived in fear, surviving each day as best he could. At night, he would lie awake thinking about his mother and twin brother, wondering if they even knew where he was. But despite everything, there was one thing that gave him hope: running. Before Mo Farah became a household name, before the Olympic medals and the stadiums chanting his name, he was just a quiet, struggling kid in school, one who barely spoke English. When Mo first arrived in the UK from Djibouti at the age of 8 or 9, school was a nightmare. He barely understood what the teachers were saying. He couldn't keep up with lessons and often got into trouble simply because he didn't understand the rules. "I just didn't get it," Mo later admitted. "I didn't speak English properly, and I didn't know what was going on half the time." At Feltham Community College, things were tough. Mo was hyperactive, always fidgeting, running around and getting distracted. His teachers were frustrated and his classmates found his accent and broken English odd. One day, his PE teacher, Alan Watkinson, noticed something unusual about Mo. While he struggled in the classroom, the moment he was outside and running, he was unstoppable. Watkinson decided to test something. Instead of punishing Mo for being distracted, he encouraged him to channel that energy into running. One afternoon, Watkinson set up a race between the students. It wasn't an official trial, just a friendly competition. Mo didn't even seem to take it that seriously. But when the race started, something amazing happened. Mo exploded forward, his long stride eating up the track line as he was born for it. He left every single student behind by a mile. The entire school stood there, stunned. Watkinson looked at Mo and asked, "Do you realize how fast you are?" Mo just grinned, shrugged, and said, "Is that good?" Watkinson knew he had just witnessed something special. From that day forward, everything changed. Watkinson became Mo's mentor, guiding him towards athletics. He encouraged Mo to take running seriously and even helped him secure British citizenship so he could compete properly. Mo later said, "Without him, I don't know where I'd be. He was the first person who believed in me." It was in those early school days, when he was just another struggling immigrant kid trying to fit in, that Mo Farah's journey to Olympic greatness truly began. Alan quickly realised something was wrong. Mo seemed withdrawn, scared, and reluctant to go home. One day, after months of building trust, Mo finally revealed the truth. His name wasn't really Mo Farah. He had no real family in the UK, and he was living with people who didn't care for him, who controlled his every move. Alan knew he had to act fast. He helped Mo move out and live with a Somali family who cared for him. Watkinson played a key role in helping him move into a secure and caring environment. He assisted with the necessary legal and welfare processes, ensuring Mo was placed in a safe home. This stability allowed Mo to focus on school and running, setting the foundation for his future success. For the first time, Mo felt safe. And then everything fell into place, because as soon as Mo was free, he ran. Once Mo was finally in a stable home, he dedicated himself entirely to running. He began training seriously, winning local and national competitions. In 2001, he became British champion in the 5,000 metres at just 18 years old. He earned British citizenship in 2000, officially becoming Mo Farah. From there, Mo's career began to skyrocket as he transitioned from a promising young athlete to an international contender. His early successes came from relentless dedication and refining his race strategies, particularly focusing on explosive finishing sprints. In 2006, Mo competed at the European Championships in Gothenburg, where he won a silver medal in the 5,000 metres. This was his first major international medal, marking a pivotal moment in his career as he proved he could compete with Europe's best. Not long after, in 2007, Mo showcased his versatility at the European Cross Country Championships, winning gold. This victory highlighted his adaptability across various terrains, not just on the track, but in the challenging cross-country conditions. Despite facing tough competition at the 2009 World Championships, Berlin, Mo narrowly missed out on a medal in the 5,000 metres. Although disappointing, the experience proved invaluable, teaching him the importance of race tactics and patience. Mo later described the race as a wake-up call. I realised I needed to change how I trained and raced if I wanted to win at the highest level. Motivated to improve, Mo relocated to the United States to train under Alberto Salazar, focusing on endurance, speed work, and race strategies. The change was transformative. His hard work paid off at the 2010 European Championships in Barcelona, where Mo made history. He became the first British athlete to win gold in both the 5,000 metres and the 10,000 metres, cementing his status as Europe's top long-distance runner. His double victory not only showcased his physical endurance, but also his mental toughness and strategic brilliance, waiting until the perfect moment to unleash his signature finishing kick. By 2011, Mo's global breakthrough arrived at the World Championships in Daegu. He won silver in the 10,000 metres, narrowly missing out on gold, but delivering a strong performance that set the stage for his next race. Just days later, he returned to the track and stormed to victory in the 5,000 metre final, securing his first World Championship gold medal. This achievement was monumental, not only for Mo, but for British athletics, as he became the first British man to win a world title in a long-distance track event. With the London 2012 Olympics approaching, expectations were sky high. Mo had gone from a young boy running barefoot in Somalia to standing on the cusp of Olympic glory. His rivals knew he was the man to beat, but few could match his combination of stamina, speed, and tactical brilliance. Mo's journey to this point was nothing short of extraordinary. Each race, each medal, and each setback had prepared him for the biggest stage of all, the Olympics, in front of a roaring home crowd. His relentless determination, strategic tactics, and ability to finish with an explosive kick made him a formidable competitor on the global stage. By the time London 2020 arrived, Mo wasn't just a contender, he was the one to beat. As Mo Farah was rising through the ranks of British athletics, he quickly became known not just for his incredible speed, but for his playful personality and mischievous sense of humour. He wasn't just a serious competitor, he loved to have fun, often pulling pranks on his teammates and coaches. One of the funniest moments from his early career happened when he first started training professionally at an elite level. Mo had always been incredibly talented, but in the early 2000s he was notorious for having a terrible diet. While most professional runners focused on carefully balanced nutrition, lean proteins, healthy carbs, and strict hydration, Mo was still eating burgers, fried chicken, and loads of junk food. His coach at the time, Alan Story, was not impressed. Mo, you're not a teenager anymore. You can't be eating KFC before a race, Story would scold him. Mo, grinning, would just shrug it off and say, "But coach, it tastes good, and I still win, don't I?" But the ultimate moment came during a training trip to Ethiopia in 2005. Mo had been sent to a high-altitude training camp where some of the best long-distance runners in the world trained. The Ethiopian athletes were machines, disciplined, focused, and always fueling their bodies with proper nutrition. One day, after a particularly brutal training session, Mo vanished from the camp. His teammates assumed he'd gone to rest until they spotted him walking back towards them, holding 2 large burgers and a Coke. The Ethiopian runners, confused and slightly horrified, burst into laughter. They couldn't believe that this British athlete, who was supposed to be training at their level, was stuffing his face with fast food. One of them shook his head and said, "You'll never win an Olympic gold medal eating like that." Fast forward to 2012. Mo Farah won not one, but 2 Olympic gold medals in front of a roaring home crowd in London. But when asked about his old fast food habit, he cheekily admitted, "Okay, maybe I eat a little healthier now, but I still love my chicken and chips." The lesson? Talent and hard work are crucial, but sometimes a little KFC doesn't hurt. This story became legendary among his teammates, proving that Mo wasn't just a champion, he was also one of the most relatable, fun-loving athletes in the sport. In 2012, he made history. The London Olympics 2012, Mo won gold in the 10,000 metres and the 5,000 metres, becoming a national hero. The crowd chanted his name as he crossed the finish line, arms outstretched in triumph. He became one of the greatest long-distance runners in history, adding 2 more Olympic gold medals in 2016. By the end of those games, Mo Farah had solidified his place among the legends of athletics, joining an elite group of distance runners who had successfully defended both the 5,000 metre and the 10,000 metre Olympic titles. His signature Mobot celebration became iconic, with his thrilling come-from-behind finishes captivated audiences worldwide. But beyond the medals and records, Mo's journey was far more than athletic achievement. It was a story of perseverance, of overcoming unimaginable odds, and of never forgetting where you come from, even when you reach the pinnacle of success. And while the world celebrated his victories on the track, few knew the deeper personal battles he was still facing off it. What happens when the medals are won? The races are run, and the truth can no longer stay hidden? Take a moment to reflect, because when we return, we'll uncover the story behind the headlines, the truth about Mo Farah's past, the secret he carried for decades, and the courage it took to finally speak out. Despite all the success, he was still keeping his secret. For decades, no one knew the truth about Mo's past, not even his closest friends. He feared deportation if he ever spoke up. He didn't know if he could legally stay in the UK, and he carried this weight alone for over 30 years. But in 2022, Mo finally broke his silence in a BBC documentary. The real story is, I was born Hussein Abdi Kahin, he revealed. I was trafficked into the UK under a different name. The nation was stunned, but the government immediately assured him he was safe. After Mo's BBC documentary, The Real Mo Farah, which aired in 2022, the UK's Home Office confirmed he would not face deportation for using a false identity as a child. However, when asked if the woman who trafficked him would be investigated, the police responded that no criminal case had been opened. Why not? Because the events happened over 30 years ago, and Mo had no documentation proving exactly who the woman was. No arrests have ever been made. Despite this, Mo's decision to speak out has helped bring global attention to the issue of child trafficking. His story has encouraged other survivors to share their experiences and to spark calls for stronger protections for trafficked children in the UK. I don't want revenge. I just want people to understand what happened to me and know that this is still happening to children today. Though his captors remain unidentified and unpunished, Mo Farah has turned his pain into purpose, using his platform to fight for change, just as he has always done, both on and off the track. Since revealing his own experience of being trafficked, Mo Farah has used his platform to advocate for refugees, trafficked children, and displaced people worldwide. While he had always supported humanitarian causes, his 2022 revelation added a deeply personal layer to his activism. After speaking out about his own trafficking experience, Mo became an outspoken advocate for child victims of modern slavery. He has worked to raise awareness about child trafficking and forced labour, using his story to highlight how vulnerable children can be deceived and exploited. And he supported charities working on the front lines to protect trafficked children, including UNICEF, Save the Children, and the Centre for Social Justice. He's also called for policy changes in the UK, ensuring that trafficked children are protected rather than punished, as he once feared he might be. He has been vocal in interviews saying, I was lucky because someone helped me, but many children don't get that chance. We need to protect them. Before even revealing his personal experience, Mo had already been dedicated to helping displaced people. In 2011, he founded the Mo Farah Foundation, which focused on providing food, clean water, education, and healthcare for children in Somalia and East Africa. The foundation built schools, distributed aid, and provided medical assistance to communities devastated by famine and conflict. During the 2011 famine in Somalia, he visited the region and helped deliver humanitarian supplies. His foundation also worked with Save the Children and Oxfam to support refugee camps in East Africa. Although his foundation closed in 2016, Its impact was significant, and Mo has continued his charity work through other organisations. Mo Farah has worked extensively with UNICEF, particularly focusing on child refugees fleeing war, persecution, and trafficking. In 2017, he joined UNICEF's Child Uprooted campaign, advocating for better protections for displaced children. He travelled to Djibouti and Somalia to visit refugee camps, meeting children forced to flee their homes. He called for greater international support to ensure refugee children get education, healthcare, and legal protection. Speaking about his own experience, he said, "When I look at these children, I see myself. Every child deserves safety, education, and hope for the future." Mo has also spoken out about the treatment of refugee and asylum seekers in the UK, particularly children who arrive alone, as he once did. He has challenged anti-refugee rhetoric, reminding people that behind every refugee statistic is a real person with dreams and potential. In 2022, he backed campaigns calling for better protections for unaccompanied asylum-seeking children, particularly those at risk of exploitation and trafficking. He has called for more funding for refugee integration programs, including language classes, sports programs, and education initiatives. He has said, "People talk about refugees as if they are a problem, but they forget they are just people looking for a safe place to rebuild their lives." Mo strongly believes that sport saved his life, and he has worked to ensure that refugee and trafficked children have the same opportunities. He supports the running charity, which helps homeless young people, including refugees, gain confidence and purpose through athletics. He has donated running shoes, equipment, and funding to sports programs for refugee children in the UK, and he has worked with Nike and SportsAid to provide training opportunities for young athletes from disadvantaged backgrounds. Through his advocacy, Mo Farah has shown his impact reaches far beyond the finish line. His commitment to giving back, to ensuring that young people, regardless of their circumstances, have the chance to chase their dreams, speaks to the heart of who he is. For Mo, running was more than a sport. It was a lifeline, a path to freedom, and a way to reclaim his identity. And now, through his work with refugee children and underprivileged youth, he's helping others find that same path. As Mo himself once said, "It's important to give back. I was given a chance, and I want to help others find their own path. No one should be defined by where they start." Mo Farah's journey from trafficked child to Olympic champion is extraordinary, but what makes him truly remarkable is that he used his platform to help others. He raised awareness about child trafficking and modern slavery and refugee rights. He has supported aid projects for displaced children in Somalia and beyond. He has advocated for better protections for asylum-seeking children and trafficked children in the UK. He has used sport to empower young refugees, showing them that, like him, they can rewrite their own story. Even though his captors were never caught, Mo Farah has made sure that his story wasn't just about survival. It's about making a difference for others. Mo Farah is not just a runner. He is a symbol of survival, resilience, and the power of second chances. For many, he is the Olympic hero who sprinted to gold with effortless grace, arms stretched wide in triumph. But behind every medal, every race, and every victory is the story of a boy who overcame impossible odds. A boy who was trafficked, separated from his family, and forced to build a new life from nothing. I may have been trafficked as a child, but I was given a second chance, he once said, and I ran with it. Mo's legacy isn't just about breaking records, it's about breaking cycles of fear, silence, and injustice. He has given a voice to trafficked children, championed the rights of refugees, and shown the world that where you start does not define where you finish. His story proves that even in the darkest moments, hope is never out of reach. Sometimes it's just waiting for you at the finish line. That's it for this episode of Sanctuary Stories. Next week, we'll be diving into another incredible journey, so make sure to subscribe and join me then. A huge thank you to Soulful Jam Tracks for the music. You can find all artist credits, references, and resources in the episode description. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share. It really helps. And if you have a moment, leave a review. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep striving, keep thriving.